Viewers, getting a breaking update coming in right now. During a special meeting of the NMML and presided over the Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, who is a Vice President of the Society, it was decided that Nehru's name would not be dropped from the complex and it will now be renamed Prime Minister's Memorial. Hitting out at Congress, claimed vengeance. But now the BJP President JP Nadda has launched a scathing attack and saying this is a classic example of political indigestion, the inability to accept a simple fact that there are leaders beyond one dynasty who have served and built our nation. Let's go straight to Abhishek Kapoor, our senior executive editor. Now, we are seeing a big face-off of Abhishek over the museum renaming. It's getting into a very big story. Take us through exactly what's happening, Abhishek.
Well, Shivangi, so we had this story breaking out about the government or the Nehru Memorial Museum and Library merging with the Prime Minister's Museum, which has been set up since 2022 and which was conceived by Prime Minister Modi as a tribute to contributions made by all Prime Ministers of India since independence. And the Prime Minister and the museum saw fruition in 2022 April when Prime Minister inaugurated it, and those who have visited it come back impressed and awestruck at the manner in which every contribution made by each of the Prime Ministers of India, all the 17 of them since 1947, including Prime Minister Nehru, of course, and the biggest section happens to be on him. There is a section of Teen Murti House which was dedicated to the personal belongings of Prime Minister Nehru, and that remains intact. But the changes that have been brought in, the technology that has been integrated with to make the museum an audiovisual experience, a lived reality experience. While on the one hand you have those visitors coming out impressed and really happy that everybody's role has been acknowledged within central Delhi, Congress party took offense to the fact that Pandit Nehru's sole sort of claim to this property is now gone because the name is now Prime Minister's Museum and not the Nehru Memorial Museum and Library, while the functions remain similar. That's how, because Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge and other Congress leaders, including Jairam Ramesh and Manish Tiwari, for example, they attacked the government for doing so, and they said that this is an attempt to remove the legacy or erase the legacy of India's first Prime Minister. The BJP has really taken it to the highest level with the party president JP Nadda responding with the dynasty jibe and saying that the Congress party has this inability to accept the simple fact that there are other leaders also who have contributed to the nation building project beyond one dynasty. And JP Nadda there in a tweet thread, 3 tweets coming out with this scathing attack on the Congress party. In second tweet, he says Congress's approach to this issue is ironical considering their party's only contribution is to erase the legacies of all previous PMs to ensure that only the legacy of one family survives. So while in Delhi, before this Prime Minister's Museum was conceived by Prime Minister Modi, there was no place where you could actually see the contributions of other Prime Ministers, and they were left to fend for individual trusts, for example. So there is one on Lal Bahadur Shastri. Then, of course, the house of Indira Gandhi was preserved, so one Safdarjung Road and one Safdarjung Lane, and that was sort of a museum to Indira Gandhi. But then what about other Prime Ministers, including Prime Minister Chandrasekhar, for example, whose son has also come out with a tweet and said that the manner in which his father's contribution, for example, was never acknowledged. What about other Prime Ministers, including VP Singh, Inder Kumar Gujral, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and they played a crucial role at different points in time. PV Narasimha Rao, the fact that Congress party claims ownership of the economic reforms of the country, but they were held by someone like a Narasimha Rao, and there is nothing in New Delhi to focus on that achievement of Narasimha Rao as Prime Minister of the country, and he was a Congress Prime Minister. So I think in that sense, and Chandrasekhar was also not a BJP Prime Minister. So VP Singh was, for example, not a BJP Prime Minister. Inder Kumar Gujral was not a BJP Prime Minister. So I think in that sense, the Congress party having a very narrow view of dynasty, and that's what is getting singled out in the counter-attack that's coming in from the BJP. Neeraj Shekhar, as I mentioned, Prime Minister, late Chandrasekhar's son, he's saying that my father, former Prime Minister Chandrasekhar, always worked for national interest. He even worked with Congress. but they never look beyond one dynasty. And now, when Prime Minister Modi has honored the Prime Minister, the Congress is getting a little agitated, and that's horrible attitude. So I think the Congress party raised the issue in the morning, and now the BJP responding with the party president JP Nadda actually tagging Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge and responding with that dynasty jibe.
Right, Abhishek, and we're getting more reactions coming in, Abhishek, right now, because what we are seeing is a reply which has come from BJP President JP Nadda launching a scathing attack, saying that that Congress cannot digest this name change because this is the time to look beyond dynasty. That's what the BJP is saying. Let's go ahead and play out all the reactions coming in right now, Abhishek, for our viewers.